In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on January 18, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Phoenix Suns versus Detroit Pistons. The Phoenix Suns, holding a record of 20-20 and currently positioned 10th in the Western Conference, are gearing up to take on the Detroit Pistons, who boast a 21-20 record and sit at 9th place in the Eastern Conference standings. This matchup is scheduled for January 18th at the Little Caesars Arena. The Suns enter the game on the heels of an impressive 130-123 victory on the road against the Washington Wizards, which took place on Thursday. Meanwhile, the Pistons are coming off a 111-100 home defeat at the hands of the Indiana Pacers that same day. This contest marks the second meeting between these teams this season, with the Pistons previously securing a 133-125 road win on December 21st. The Phoenix Suns will be missing Jusuf Nurkic, while Bradley Beal is listed as doubtful for this matchup, leaving their lineup slightly depleted. On the other side, the Detroit Pistons continue to navigate their season without the injured Jaden Ivey. Despite boasting significant star power on paper, with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker leading the charge, the Suns have struggled to meet expectations. They currently hold the dubious distinction of being the NBA's worst team against the spread. With Nurkic officially ruled out and Beal unlikely to play, the Suns will be less than full strength against the Pistons. The Pistons have shown remarkable resilience, particularly following losses. Detroit is 4-0 in their last 4 games immediately following a defeat and has not suffered back-to-back losses since December 3rd and 4th. These two teams bear striking similarities in their statistical profiles. The Suns are ranked 19th in net rating with a -1.3 mark, while the Pistons sit just above them in 18th place with a -1.1 net rating. However, there is a notable disparity in offensive rebounding. The Suns rank near the bottom of the league, sitting at 28th with an average of 9.3 offensive rebounds per game. In contrast, the Pistons excel in this area, ranking 11th with 11.1 offensive rebounds per game, which could prove crucial in this contest. The Detroit Pistons have defied expectations, consistently winning games despite being underestimated by oddsmakers. They have emerged victorious in 7 of their last 10 outings. Conversely, the Suns have struggled to perform consistently, owning a dismal 13-26-1 against the spread record, the worst in the league. The absence of Nurkic and Beal further diminishes their appeal. On the road, the Suns have managed just a 7-12 straight-up record this season, and they are a mere 2-5-1 against the spread in their last 8 games as favorites. Despite their recent form, the Suns are only slight favorites in this matchup. With the Pistons coming off a loss to the surging Pacers, they will be motivated to capitalize on their home court advantage and exploit the Suns' personnel issues. This sets the stage for a tightly contested game where Detroit is well positioned to rebound. So the Detroit Pistons to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams have been productive offensively in recent games. The Suns are averaging 118.5 points over their last 4 contests, while the Pistons are putting up 116 points per game in their previous 5 outings. When considering their offensive efficiency for the season, Phoenix ranks 10th in the NBA with an offensive rating of 114, while Detroit comes in at 16th with a rating of 111.9. Additionally, both squads have maintained a pace that aligns closely with the league average. Over their last 7 games, the Suns rank 8th in offensive rating, and the Pistons rank 10th, reflecting their ability to score consistently. The Pistons have demonstrated their scoring potential, reaching at least 118 points in 4 of their last 7 matchups. They should find opportunities to excel offensively against a Suns defense that has allowed an average of 117 points over its last 5 games. On the other hand, with Devin Booker performing at a high level, the Suns' offense has been thriving, averaging 121 points in their previous 5 outings. Given these trends, this game has the makings of a high-scoring affair. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Atlanta Hawks versus Boston Celtics. On Saturday evening, the Atlanta Hawks are set to take on the Boston Celtics at the iconic TD Garden. This matchup promises to be an exciting one, given the recent history between these two teams. Atlanta and Boston have split their two earlier meetings this season, with each team securing a win on the other's home court. On November 4th, the Celtics decisively defeated the Hawks with a commanding 123-93 victory in Atlanta. However, just over a week later, on November 12th, the Hawks exacted their revenge with a nail-biting 117-116 victory in Boston. The scoring trends between these teams also suggest an intriguing game, as the over has hit in 7 out of their last 10 encounters. As the Hawks prepare for this clash, they remain without Zachary Rissacher, who is still unavailable due to injury. Additionally, they are keeping a close eye on Jalen Johnson, whose status is currently listed as questionable. On the other side, the Celtics will enter Saturday night's game with a fully healthy roster. Despite this, Atlanta holds a significant rest advantage, as Boston will be playing on the second night of a back-to-back. Adding to this advantage, two key players for the Hawks, Trae Young and DeAndre Hunter, were sidelined in their last game due to injuries. Both players should be well rested and ready to contribute in this matchup. With a relatively healthy and fast-paced lineup, the Hawks may find themselves in an advantageous position against a potentially fatigued Celtics squad. The Boston Celtics, while undoubtedly a strong team, find themselves in a challenging position coming off a back-to-back. Since December, they have notably lost 4 games where they were double-digit favorites, demonstrating their occasional vulnerability in these situations. While their recent victory over an undermanned Orlando Magic team might provide some momentum, it does not necessarily indicate that their issues are fully resolved. Concerns about the Celtics' reliability are valid, especially when considering the inflated betting lines often set for them. In contrast, the Hawks have shown resilience, winning 3 of their last 4 games despite dealing with numerous injuries. It's worth noting that Atlanta previously defeated Boston back in November as a massive 16-point underdog, highlighting their ability to compete even when the odds are stacked against them. Once again, odds makers appear to be overestimating the Celtics, which has often led to disappointment for bettors. Recently, the Hawks have been quietly playing some of their best basketball of the season. They showcased their potential in a convincing victory over the Chicago Bulls on Wednesday, whereas the Celtics had been struggling in the weeks leading up to their win over a shorthanded Orlando team. Unsurprisingly, Boston has opened as heavy home favorites for Saturday's game. However, it seems that Atlanta is being slightly undervalued given their current form and favorable circumstances. Personally, I find it difficult to have confidence in the Celtics covering such a large spread in their current state. Over their last 15 games, Boston is just 8-7 straight up, and now they are expected to win by double digits against a scrappy Hawks team loaded with scorers. I'm not convinced. I'll gladly take the points with Atlanta and wouldn't be shocked if they manage to pull off an outright victory. So the Atlanta Hawks to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Statistics also highlight the potential for a high-scoring game. When playing with a rest advantage, the over has hit in 10 of Atlanta's last 13 games. Additionally, the over is 13-8 in the Hawks' matchups against Eastern Conference opponents this season. The Hawks' fast-paced style of play is a key factor in these results. Atlanta ranks as the 3rd fastest-paced team in the NBA, averaging 104.4 possessions per 48 minutes. They also average the 2nd shortest offensive possession length in the league. With 2 and potentially 3 of their leading scorers available, the Hawks are likely to play with urgency and look to make a strong statement against the defending Eastern Conference champions. Meanwhile, the Celtics might struggle to keep up, especially given the fatigue they could be experiencing after battling Orlando the night before. Atlanta's defense, which has been subpar this season, ranking 27th in opponent mid-range field goal percentage and last in opponent three-point percentage, could allow Boston to score with relative ease. Nevertheless, Atlanta's motivation to rebound from their recent inconsistencies should help them stay competitive on the court. As mentioned earlier, Atlanta thrives in fast-paced games, ranking 2nd in the NBA in pace with 106.1 possessions per game. Boston, by contrast, is slower paced, sitting 21st in the league at 100 possessions per game. However, the Hawks' ability to impose their quick style of play could make this a challenging game for the Celtics. Offensively, both teams are among the stronger squads in the league. Boston ranks third in offensive efficiency, scoring 116.5 points per 100 possessions, while Atlanta is 15th with 110.1 points per 100 possessions. During their current two-game winning streak, the Hawks have been scoring an impressive 116 points per game. Given these factors, Atlanta appears poised to find success on offense against Boston's defense in this matchup. The rested Hawks are likely to push the Celtics into a fast-paced and high-scoring contest on Saturday night. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Philadelphia 76ers versus Indiana Pacers. The Eastern Conference showdown will see the Philadelphia 76ers face off against the Indiana Pacers on Saturday night, and we've got you covered with an in-depth 76ers versus Pacers prediction. Philadelphia is coming off a tough 125-119 overtime loss to the New York Knicks at home on Wednesday night. That game marked the second half of a back-to-back set, during which the 76ers failed to cover the spread as 5.5-point favorites. Meanwhile, Indiana secured a 111-100 victory over the Detroit Pistons on the road Thursday night, successfully covering the spread as 2-point favorites in their last outing. Historically, the 76ers hold a significant edge in the all-time regular season series, boasting a 111-87 advantage. However, the teams have split their two meetings this season, with the Pacers claiming a convincing 121-107 road win in their most recent clash on December 13, 2024. In terms of player availability, the 76ers remain shorthanded, with Kyle Lowry and Joel Embiid still sidelined, and Paul George listed as questionable for this matchup. On the Pacers side, Isaiah Jackson remains unavailable, but otherwise, the team is in relatively good health. Philadelphia's struggles this season have been exacerbated by these ongoing injury issues, and the outlook doesn't appear any brighter for this game. Key contributors such as McCain, Embiid, Lowry, and both Martins are unavailable, leaving significant gaps in the lineup. Additionally, the uncertain status of players like Drummond, Yabusele, and George adds further uncertainty. This leaves little reason for optimism as the team continues to grapple with roster instability. Shooting efficiency, particularly from beyond the arc, is a critical factor for success in the modern NBA, and the disparity between these two teams in this area is notable. The 76ers rank a disappointing 24th in the league with a team three-point shooting percentage of just 34.2%. By contrast, the Pacers are among the league's best, sitting 7th with a robust 37.4% success rate from deep. The 76ers' injury woes have severely impacted their performance, with the team going 3-7 straight up and against the spread in their last 10 games. It's difficult to back Philadelphia with any confidence given their constantly shifting lineup and the lack of rhythm on the court. On the other hand, the Pacers have been trending in the opposite direction. They've gotten healthier in recent weeks, which has translated to an impressive 8-2 record straight up and against the spread in their last 10 outings. Philadelphia is clearly struggling to find its footing, and their recent overtime loss to the Knicks was a demoralizing blow. A win could help restore some confidence, but their current slump makes it seem like a tall order. In stark contrast, the Pacers enter this game riding a wave of momentum. They are healthier, playing at a high level, and should have more than enough firepower to handle the depleted 76ers at home. Indiana has won 7 of their last 8 games, and with the advantages of home court momentum and a healthier roster, they are well positioned to come out on top in this contest. Considering Philadelphia's mounting injuries and lack of cohesion, it's challenging to envision them keeping pace with Indiana's roster, which has been firing on all cylinders. So the Indiana Pacers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Defensively, neither team has been particularly effective, which could lead to a high-scoring affair. The 76ers rank 19th in the league with a 113.4 defensive rating, while the Pacers sit slightly lower at 21st with a defensive rating of 113.8. Both teams have struggled to limit their opponent's scoring, with Philadelphia ranking 29th in the league by allowing an opposing field goal percentage of 48.3%, and Indiana coming in at 20th with a 47.2% mark. Both squads have leaned slightly toward the over this season in terms of total points scored in their games. Philadelphia's offensive struggles, compounded by injuries, leave significant questions about who will step up to support Tyrese Maxey. Meanwhile, Indiana has no trouble putting points on the board but often struggles to slow down opposing offenses. The 76ers have hit the over in 3 of their last 4 games, highlighting their inability to consistently contain opponents. This game presents an interesting clash of styles, with Philadelphia playing at the slowest pace in the league at just 96 96.5 possessions per game, while Indiana operates at a much faster pace, ranking 8th with 99.8 possessions per contest. The over has hit in 8 of the last 10 meetings between these teams, and even with injuries in play, Indiana's defensive vulnerabilities make it difficult to trust them to keep the game low scoring. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.